I think I ruined my 24F and my boyfriend's 27M vacation and I don't know what to do. Hello everyone, my boyfriend, 27M, and I, 23F, are on vacation and we decided to rent a car. It was his idea. He doesn't have a valid driving license for the country we are in, so the only possible way to drive around is me being the only driver for the whole vacation trip. I usually really dislike driving, of course I do it anyway out of necessity, but driving in a foreign country with no one else who could take my place in case of emergency seemed a bit too much for me. Also I am very young so I don't have much experience. So he tried to convince me and after some arguing I finally gave in to his requests. Everyone knows sometimes you have to compromise in a relationship. The problem is that once we arrived I realized it was more difficult than I thought. I got really nervous and I also acted a bit bitchy towards him while driving out of pure stress, which made me feel really bad. I said I was sorry and everything, but the trip kept getting more and more stressful, with me having to drive for hours to reach the different places he booked and getting so tired both physically and mentally as I am not used to long drives in the slightest, and because he doesn't drive he couldn't even take my place. Now he's telling me about how I'll never go anywhere with this attitude of mine, how surprised he is that I am so adverse to trying new things and how I shouldn't go abroad if I am so uncomfortable with getting out of my comfort zone. All of this because I got so stressed out with all the driving I needed to do. I feel like I made some mistakes. I could have behaved better while driving. I didn't call him names by the way. I just snapped a few times when he kept messing up with the directions he was giving me. But I also feel like he doesn't realize how demanding he's being and how bad his words hurt. I told him that I compromised with him and decided to rent a car, but he could have compromised too and booked places that weren't so far away from one another. He criticized me a lot for the whole vacation, basically telling me that I am not made for the life I would like to live. I want to go study abroad and all, because of this car stuff. I also suggested that we bring the car back to the rental company earlier and find another solution, but he said absolutely not, that since I said yes I should be driving around until the end of the trip. At this point I don't care who is wrong and who is right. I just want to salvage what's left of the vacation and stop fighting. Have you got some advice for me? How would it be best to apologize for my behavior? Edit. I would also add some details since my original post got deleted. He's not driving because he's not from Europe and told me that getting an international would require an insane amount of annoying bureaucracy. The country I was driving in is Spain. Also I am 23, not 24 like in the title. Sometimes I mess it up since it's my birthday in a couple of months. A guy without a license decided that you should rent a car, and you'll have to drive it all day, then gets annoyed and claims you are adverse to new things? Really? Yeah, you're not the one who owes an apology here. Him picking places that are a hassle to drive to when he won't do the driving himself is bad enough. Him berating you for not being happy about it and telling you that you'll never be able to travel anywhere when you wouldn't make such impractical arrangements if it were completely up to you. No one on earth would blame you for stranding him by the side of the road. As it is, drop him off at the next major destination and figure out your own plans from there. Stop apologizing and diminishing yourself. This guy is not your superior. He is not better than you. His opinion of you is not more important than your opinion of yourself. If driving is so important to him, he needs to be willing to jump through the hoops to be able to do it himself and not be fully forcing you into uncomfortable situations that you don't want to be in. Of course you were snappy. He was putting you in a hard situation that you did not choose. I would really think about why you want to be with someone who has so little respect for you and your comfort. Stop putting him on a pedestal that he does not deserve. Okay, real talk. You have posted about this in multiple threads, and received comments almost unanimously validating you in this situation. So apart from hearing that you are right over and over, are you going to do anything about it? You sound nice and intelligent, etc., but you need to learn to say no. I wouldn't have even gone on the vacation once he said he rented a car I was supposed to drive. Nah, he knew you were uncomfortable and relatively new at driving, and so what he has to do paperwork, boohoo, he did this knowing how you felt. TBH, what out of his comfort zone was he sitting there? Where is he from? In the USA an international DL is like $20 and 10 minutes at AAA with no membership needed. My 27F, fiancé's 25M, little sister allegedly wrongfully accused him of SAW, but something isn't right. Some quick background: we've been together 2.5 years, and have been friends 15 years. We used to be neighbors and I was best friends with his older sister, so I know his family pretty well. They have 4 adopted siblings that came into their life shortly after we had met. I am 27F and fiancé is 25M. His baby sister is one of the adopted kids. Everyone's always said they were close. I noticed it was a little weird when I moved in with his family for a bit, but I never paid it any mind. We got pregnant in March of last year and she was pretty unhappy about it. About 2 months later, 16 at the time, she announces her pregnancy. Her boyfriend lived with us all at the time, so it didn't really come as a surprise. We got close while we were both pregnant, bonded over everything despite our 10 years age gap. Both of our babies ended up in the NICU, and it was after we both were home that things started shifting noticeably. Her attitude changed towards everyone, she started drinking, dressing differently. It's been about 6 months since her kid was born, and she is a completely different person. She asked to come and live with me and my fiancé a few months ago, and we told her that she could when she was 18. She stopped coming over. We visited his family multiple times in the last few months. I noticed their behavior towards me had changed and literally asked them if I had done something to upset them, and they all told me no. I asked my fiancé if he still loved me because he couldn't look me in my face. And when he did, something just looked off. 2 weeks ago, the sister packs up and leaves to go live with her other 2 blood siblings, leaving the youngest. She apparently went to her sister who works for CPS and said that their adoptive mother was abusing her. They came up with paperwork and everything, and they said they signed it because they were too scared to fight it and lose the youngest kid. Now 5 days ago, my fiancé comes to me and asks me not to get mad. Please don't go fighting anybody, and please don't yell at me. I'm like, okay, why are you being weird? He tells me his sister and younger cousin, 18F, have come out with accusations against him. His sister said that he did something, but allegedly refuses to specify, and his cousin said he sent her a dick pic on Snapchat. These allegations against him happened about 2 months ago, and I just found out. I was at their house, hanging out with them and my kids, planning our wedding. I hung out with that sister and her baby. Nobody told me fucking anything. Apparently they were all scared I would leave him and whoop on his sister. I'm talking to his mom yesterday, and she mentions how they had him stop by on his way home from work a month ago to apologize to his cousin and sister for what he had done. My uncle and dad made me, is what he said. His mom also mentions that the whole time he's apologizing, the sister had both arms wrapped around his waist and her face in his chest. She goes, "It's okay," with a straight face and walks back inside. I don't know why, but this infuriates me more than the rest of what's going on. I don't understand why she would be around us so much if he had done something. And why she'd wait 10 years to speak up. Or on the other hand, I don't understand why he'd keep it from me as his fiancé, and also why he let her grab on him like that after accusing him of something so foul. He and his family all say it's a lie. His cousin literally got caught fucking her brother and they had to be legally separated, so I don't know how valid her word even is. Also, he doesn't have Snap or her number. And his sister just lied on his mom too, so I don't know. I just don't know what to think. Please help and don't be too harsh. This is really hard on me as it is. Sorry, it's a big and kind of confusing read, so I can't do it too long. Did not read. I was sexually assaulted by my older brother. My parents didn't want to face the situation even after he admitted it. They did everything to keep me quiet, and well, it worked. If there's any indication or intuition you're noticing, I'm afraid that there is probably a good reason for it. Long story short, when both my parents had passed, I actually tried to hug him. Disgusting, I know, but I was feeling extremely alone in the world. I've always had hope that somehow we could be normal. Her hugging him could be her feeling guilt for having told on him. Also, my brother tried to make it out to me that during the abuse he did it because he loved me, so this topic can be very confusing for the victim. He was very violent outside of the CSA. You sure that other baby isn't his too? You need to get away from this family and protect your child. Your fiancé apologized because he's freaking guilty and had something to apologize for. Update me. Your fiancé was accused by 2 separate people. Believe them. Your fiancé's behavior after her baby was born leads me to suspect that he might be the baby's bio dad and that he suspects that fact. His little sister is a victim in all this. If her allegations are true, which his behavior suggests it is, he groomed her. And there's no telling if they're the only victims. Do you really want to marry a man like this? You should document all this so that you can die what it takes to make sure that he doesn't have unsupervised access to your child. And it's pretty clear that the supervised visitations should not rely on his parents being the supervisors during his visits. First off, don't victim blame. She is at the mercy of this family. She was raised there, so she has no way to escape, and CPS may have failed her and now she's extra stuck and everyone knows she tattled. So it probably wasn't your fiancé. Most likely it was probably the dad, mom or uncle. On the possibility she is actually lying and the cousin is not mentally okay, I'd still want to run away from this family. Seriously, doesn't matter, I would leave them all. Your kids aren't safe. I'd rather be single than wonder. Girl, is her baby his? All signs point to her not lying. Her treating you weird. Having a baby at the same time. The cousin with the same accusation. Him apologizing. No man shit anyone would apologize for saw if they didn't do it. They would go bankrupt proving their innocence. Protect yourself and more importantly your child. I'd plan my exit and call CPS immediately. Weird shit is happening over there. Please think of not only your child but the children they will continue fostering. Stop victim blaming. My M39 wife F39 is threatening abortion and divorce when she gets angry. How would you handle? We have 2 kids and are awaiting number 3. Wife is 4 months pregnant and her hormones are running wild. She is usually a tempered person who from time to time loses her temper and yells at everyone around her. She apologizes for it afterwards and she is getting better. With kid 1 and 2 she had a hard time controlling her mood, so I was expecting the third time to be more of the same. Except it isn't. It's worse. On 2 separate occasions when fighting with me about something insignificant she has said something along the lines of, maybe I should just get an abortion, then we can divorce, or, we can just divorce, then I'll get an abortion. Typically I don't accept being threatened, but I'm having a hard time figuring out just how much leeway I should give a pregnant wife. And I probably could need some sanity check on this one, as I've probably not seen things with a clear mind. What do you think, internet? So I accept my wife's behavior or have a talk with her, a talk that I feel she isn't ready to have for another year and a half. Definitely inform her physicians, both OB and General MD. Referral for professional help. We have a rule in my marriage that if you're going to throw the D word out there you better fucking mean it. No excuses. Perinatal psychosis and depression are a real thing. All the mental health issues that can happen during a pregnancy are very real. Maybe find a therapist who specializes in it and get her help. Because that's what these mood swings are, pregnancy causing mental health issues. Not that it entirely matters, but what are you fighting about? Is it small like, honey, can you put your dishes in the sink? And she goes, maybe I should get an abortion? Pregnancy is a hard time for everyone. Might be worth looking into couples therapy for ways to handle arguments and stress. Speaking from experience, pregnancy is a blur, and how women feel and act is partially out of their control because it's a physical change that takes over your whole mind. If this is very different from how she normally is, I'd be taking this to the doctor. Most everyone knows about postpartum issues, but similar issues can pop up when you're pregnant. So if this is different from how she normally is, different from her other pregnancies, I would absolutely be asking her doctor to evaluate her. What are the fights about? I, 36M, found out that my wife, 37F, is meeting in secret with a former male coworker. My head is spinning after just having had an argument with my wife about this. I don't know if I am over or underreacting and don't really know who to talk to about this. I, 36M, just found out that my wife, 37F, met up with a former male colleague today, when she said she would be at work and then continuously lied about when I asked her. She has met up with this guy several times before, but this is the first time she has directly lied. For background, we have been together for 17 years, married for 5 years and have 2 kids, 7 and 5. She was acting cagey when I asked her what she was doing at work today. She said going into HQ at her work for a 30-minute meeting, which she usually tries to avoid because of the commute, but today that was no issue at all. Meeting did not seem very important, so I asked if she was doing or meeting anyone else in there and she said no. Later, after picking up our kids, I wonder where she is because her meeting should have been over long ago. I check her location, because we share via Find My iPhone, and wanted to see if she had left, because we needed to go shopping for dinner and she had promised to do it. That's when I see that she is at a park and not in the office. I call her to ask if I should take the kids and pick up groceries and she says, yes, that would be great. I got stuck at the office, but we'll leave from here soon. Didn't call her on it as I was with the kids, but definitely felt weird. She gets home later complaining about being sweaty and just wanting to shower. To be fair, she has bike as part of her commute and is in her period at the moment. Sorry if that is TMI. I asked her how her day was and why she got stuck at the office today. She again says that she just got deep into researching something she is working on and lost track of time. Something just feels off, but I don't want to confront her in front of the kids, so I wait until they are asleep. Confrontation goes something like this. Me. Why were you so late at the office today? Her. Just got deep into some research. Me. So you were just at the office the whole time? Her. Yes, why do you ask? Me. Because I checked your location before I called you to see if you were on your way and you were at the park. Why did you say you were in the office? Her. I was out for a walk with someone. Me. Who? Her. Name of the former male colleague. Me. Why didn't you just say that? Her. Didn't think it would be important. Me. When did you arrange this? Her. He wrote me today and we found out we were both in the same area and went for a walk. Me. This seems weird, why wouldn't you just tell me? Can I see your messages with him? Her. Sure. Hands med the messages. I start to feel stupid here. But still read the messages. They write together on LinkedIn. They have been writing all week and planning to meet up all along. They even write stuff like, can't wait to see you smiling face. Looking forward to it heart hands, and sending heartsuit. Nothing is super flirty in the text other than the emojis. A few of the messages have been edited though. The thread goes back months, but mainly contains messages about meeting up for coffee or wine sometimes. Always in the daytime and mostly in public, one time at his office. They have met roughly once a month for the past 6 months. To begin with, she says she can't see the big deal, and when I press her about the lying she can't really explain why she lied to me about it. It just seemed easier. Or, you were creeping me out with your questions so I got nervous. The reason I got really mad is, 1. She lied about where she was, 2. When confronted she lied about how long it has been planned, 3. When I asked how long the walk in the park was, she said 30 minutes, but I could see from the messages and her location that it was more like 90 minutes, which she then also backpedaled on. 4. When they have met previously she did not mention it until after the fact, when she got home smelling of wine, which have always made me feel a bit weird. I am normally not a jealous guy and she has not given me reasons to doubt her in the past, but her interactions with this guy and how she talks about him makes me really uncomfortable. I feel like a line has definitely been crossed. She lied to me and purposefully hid something from me. I don't have anything concrete on if they hooked up or anything like that, but it still feels like she kind of cheated on me. While I was typing this she came to me and said she was sorry that she lied and that she can see it was wrong. She still can't explain why she lied but swears that nothing happened and he is just a friend. But I don't know how I can trust when she just lied to my face several times without blinking and only confessed when I caught her in lie. Don't know if I can move past it. I still feel like there is more to the story but can't prove anything. So please help me out here. Am I over or underreacting here? What would you do if it was you? More background. She only worked with him for about 6 months 2-3 years ago and not very closely. Back then she said stuff like, oh, he is just so funny and will send me fun memes on Teams all day. And we are planning on taking a work trip to an office in another country that would just be so much fun with him. It felt off at the time, but she got another job and never went on a work trip with him, so I parked it. He is also married but does not have kids. When they started hanging out again 6 months ago it started feeling weird again. It usually matched around when we would have small fights about stuff, nothing major. We have been having trouble connecting in general, for longer than the 6 months, and I have been trying to work on it with her. But she seems disengaged and is not really interested in going on dates with me anymore, like at all, or being intimate as much as in the past. Your wife's lying about spending time with another man. That would be a big fucking deal to me. Contact the guy's wife. If these meetups are innocent she should have nothing to worry about. I think you know your wife is cheating on you. You just need to find your self-respect to deal with it. You can also tell her that you want to meet him. Set up a double date with him and his wife. See how she reacts. The shower as soon as she came home is super dodge. I'd say she parks her car at the park and he takes her to a hotel. Just in case you'd check her tracking. Men don't put that much effort to meet with platonic friends, especially sending heart emojis and can't wait. He's definitely banging your wife or trying to. Sorry, but if it isn't physical cheating it's at least emotional. You should be clear on your boundaries and tell her you feel being cheated on and ask directly if she wants to stay in this marriage, because if she does she has to be completely truthful and cut this man off. If not, expect to break up the family with everything it means. If she hasn't gone too far maybe it's the wake-up call she needs.